Welcome back, everybody. We've got quarterback Fernando Mendoza here ahead of Cal's Week 9 matchup against Oregon State at California Memorial Stadium. We'll get started with Jake Curtis from Cal Bears on SI. Go ahead, Jake.
A lot of success in the first three quarters of games, not so much in the fourth quarter. To what do you attribute that?
Yeah, I could only speak on the offense in those terms, as that's the part of the game plan of the team that I am attributed with and that I'm a part of. I would say that it comes down to mental focus, and there's a couple plays each fourth quarter that we've gone back and I've been not contemplating on it, but there's a couple plays, or there's a play in each game that I can vividly remember going back is like, ooh, if we hit that play, if a little that it's not like an extreme play. It's not like, oh, if I would have thrown an 80-yard touchdown. It's more like, okay, maybe if we would have, checked it down here, or just something in the offense in general, then the game would have been more favorable for us. So I think it's about staying locked in and more focused. However, I think they were doing a great job at practice this week, as Coach Wilcox has shifted up the practice schedule a little bit so that we finish strong and end strong in periods.
All right, we'll go to Jeff Prado from Cal Bears on SI. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Fernando, it's clear that you have a good chemistry with Jack Endries and have a lot of confidence in him. Tell me how that evolves. How does that happen? How does a quarterback develop that confidence in a particular player out there?
Jack who? No, I'm joking. No, Jack is one of my best friends. I heard he was on here earlier, but Jack and I, we essentially grew up through the Cal system together. We were on scout team, and especially when we were on scout team freshman year, although the scout team chemistry is a term that gets thrown around with myself and Tron, Jack, Jordan King, and a ton of other weapons that we had on scout team at that point of moment. We are true freshmen, or maybe retro freshmen, going against NFL players such as Craig Woodson, Daniel Scott. So when you go against those guys, you learn to throw with anticipation and learn in tough looks. It's essentially throwing us into the fire, as we have a great defense. So back then, 2 years ago, when we were in that situation, we had to improvise a lot, and we had a lot of situations that didn't go well. However, now that experience has helped us become on the same page, especially with us growing last year in the season, and then now to this year. Jack knows how to find the zones. He's a smart football player, and he's a tough guy. So I know that he's definitely a very reliable target.
Do you relate to him in the sense that maybe both of you have exceeded what outsiders' expectations were for you?
Yeah, I would definitely say that. I would say that Jack and I relate with each other in a lot of things. In personal life and in that sense. Jack was a walk-on, and sometimes he jokes around with me because he was saying, oh, maybe they didn't offer you so late, I would have got the scholarship. So we'd always joke around that I was in debt to him until I was able to get him a scholarship through throwing him the football. He ended up surpassing. He started before I started. However, that was a running joke between us. And as underdogs, the coaches, if they bring you in at Cal, they expect good things of you. It's not like they're like, oh, Jack and Fernando, they're lumps on the log. But the same token, I think that if you asked anybody in this, although you guys everybody's really intelligent here in the Cal football facility, I don't think that there's a potential, but I don't think that anybody could have correctly and put a lot of money on the line that Jack and I would have panned out this way. But it speaks a testament to his hard work and his leadership skills.
Thanks, Fernando.
Thank you.
Matt Moreno from Rivals.
Listening to Coach Wilcox and Coach Blesh and Jack and everybody we talked to today, there's not a whole lot of panic, it sounds like, with what you guys are doing right now, despite where you're at. How would you describe just the psyche and kind of the mindset of the team this week?
By the way, I love that word, psyche. It's a great word. I think that the tones of Coach Blesh, Coach Wilcox, and Jack reflect the tones of practice. It's urgent, and it's serious. It's not like everybody's relaxed, like, okay, like it is what it is. Like we're very urgent, it's very serious, and there's a lot of accountability going on and a lot of people holding each other to a high standard. And that's what it comes down to. And today in practice, there's a lot of high level football being played. So with all that being said, I think we all have confidence in ourselves, the people across the ball from us as our own offense and our own defense and our own special teams unit. So with that and a lot of high level football being played in practice, we all believe that we can go out there and have a really good game on Saturday.
All right, we'll go to Steve Croner from the Answer Chronicle.
Good afternoon, Fernando.
Good morning. How you doing?
Morning to you, afternoon to me. All right, fair enough. Following up on Matt's question, after the game on Saturday, you guys obviously were down and understandably so. For now, you've had 2 practices. Is the bitter taste out, or do you use it as motivation to get to Saturday?
I would say both. The bitter taste is not completely out. And Mr. Croner, you and I are good friends, so I never lie to a good friend. So I would say that there's obviously plays that we all want back on Saturday, and it's not like I forgot we even played a game against NC State. But at the same token, what we learned from the game and the lessons that we learned that we apply to our practice and the trends that we want to fix from the game and put into practice, those are very prevalent. However, the sentiment of feeling sorry for ourselves, oh, we'll get it next time, it was only 1 point, those are out of the window. So I would say that's where the team stands right now and really trying to get those trends that we've been struggling with individually, position-wise, and a unit, and try to tackle those in practice.
One specific football question. If Tobias Merriweather is healthy and can play Saturday, how much would that improve the offense, both just in potential and in practice?
I believe we have an amazing receiver unit, and Tobias is a hell of a player. I really can't wait till everybody sees what he's about, his demeanor on the field, how he plays the game, and I'm really excited for him.
Good luck.
We'll go back to Matt.
Coach Wilcox mentioned that TJ, is dealing with something right now, and obviously, he said he's doubtful for this week. If he isn't able to go, and you guys have to go with a younger guy like Fred or Braden, what's the message from you to those guys about, how to protect you and kind of just maybe propping them up to get them ready for that start?
Fred and Braden are both outstanding tackles, so I have full force confidence in them. And although it is or maybe it could be their first Cal start, Braden has a couple years at Michigan State, plus Fred. I mean, they're both, I both view them as not, I wouldn't say diamonds in the rough, but I would say they both have a ton of potential. So I'm really excited for them to get their chance and to be able to get their feet wet. And I think they're going to do very, very well. I mean, Braden, his older brother, Barrett, last year was outstanding for us. And not to just compare him to his brother, but in practice, Braden's been outstanding, and as well as Fred. There was a play, I believe it was a counter last week that we were watching with the running backs, O-line, and tight ends, and that Fred pulled across, and he looked like the fastest guy in the field, extremely athletic, and absolutely plowed the guy to the ground. So Braden and Fred are both going to be very high football players, and I'm really confident in them.
Kind of an odd scenario this week where you guys kind of get out of ACC play for a bit, and now you get to play Oregon State, who you guys are a little bit more familiar with. What have you seen from them so far this season, and what do you expect, I guess, on Saturday?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on the little bit of a break. It's not a break because Oregon State's a very formidable opponent, and they are extremely tough. I mean, everybody knows how Oregon State plays, especially everybody here at Cal. And going back to your question on what to expect from Oregon State, I would say that Oregon State, they're a tough team. They have a defensive-minded head coach. Their players play really tough. I have two friends over there at Oregon State, both former Cal Bears, Andy Alfieri and Cy. So, and they're both on defense, so I get to go against them directly. So it's been really cool watching both of those guys play and have great seasons over there for the Beavs. And I mean, those are guys that, where people on the offense are friends with. However, when the first quarter blows the whistle until the fourth quarter ends, then it's all game time from there. But definitely look forward to seeing those guys after the game and look forward to playing against Oregon State.